What if love wasn't just between two people, but also the bond that unites a family? In today's heartfelt story, Diem receives an unexpected call from Toan's mother, who wishes to buy them a new home nearby, a gesture born from love, care, and the longing to stay close. As the days unfold, emotions blossom, decisions are made, and a new beginning awaits them under the golden sky. Don't forget to subscribe and stay with us to feel every warm moment of Diem and Toan's journey toward family, love, and a home built from the heart. The afternoon sun was soft and golden, spreading its gentle warmth across the small garden where Diem was watering her favorite roses. A faint breeze carried the scent of jasmine, and the sound of trickling water blended harmoniously with the hum of life around her. Everything felt peaceful until the quiet was broken by the sudden ring of her phone. Glancing at the screen, Diem's heart softened. It was Toan's mother. She quickly wiped her hands on her apron and picked up the call, her voice warm but curious. "Hello, Mom. Is everything all right?" she asked gently. On the other end, Mrs. Land's voice came through, calm yet filled with affection. "Everything's fine, dear. I was just thinking about you. You've been working so hard lately, haven't you? I know life in the city can be tiring." Her tone carried the kind of tenderness that only a mother could express, one that immediately made Diem's heart flutter with both comfort and guilt. "I'm fine, really," Diem replied with a soft laugh. "Toan's been helping me a lot, and I've been taking good care of myself." Mrs. Land chuckled lightly before pausing, her next words slower, more deliberate. "You know, Diem, I've been thinking, what if I buy a new house for you and Toan? Something not too far from here, just a few streets away. That way, we could see each other more often. I could come over when you need help, and you could visit whenever you want. Wouldn't that be nice?" The world seemed to go quiet for a moment. The sound of water dripping from the hose faded, and all Diem could hear was the gentle beating of her own heart. A mix of surprise and emotion welled up inside her. She hadn't expected this, hadn't even imagined it. The thought of living near Toan's mother, of having her close by to share meals, stories, and laughter, suddenly painted a tender picture in her mind. "Mom!" Diem's voice trembled slightly, her throat tightening with emotion. "That's such a kind thought, but it would be too much, wouldn't it? You've already done so much for us." "Nonsense," Mrs. Land interrupted softly, a smile audible through her tone. "You're family. I just want all of us to be close, to care for each other. Life's too short to live apart." Diem's eyes glistened as she looked up at the sky, where the fading sunlight turned the clouds into shades of pink and gold. "Thank you, Mom," she whispered. "You always think of us before yourself." After they hung up, Diem stayed in the garden for a while, holding the phone to her chest. A breeze brushed against her face, as if carrying Mrs. Land's love through the air. In that quiet, golden moment, Diem realized something beautiful. Sometimes love doesn't come through grand gestures. It comes in the form of simple words, softly spoken, that make you feel at home long before you ever move into a new one. That evening, when Toan came home from work, the smell of freshly cooked soup filled the small house. The lights glowed softly, and through the window, he could see Zoom sitting on the porch, lost in thought. Her hair shimmered faintly under the golden hue of the setting sun, her eyes distant, dreamy. He smiled. That expression of hers always meant she was thinking deeply about something. Setting his briefcase aside, Toan walked over and knelt beside her. "Zuum," he said gently, "what's on your mind? You look like you're somewhere far away." She turned toward him, her eyes still soft from the lingering emotion of the afternoon. "Your mother called me today," she said, her voice almost a whisper. Toan tilted his head slightly, curiosity flickering in his eyes. "Oh, did something happen?" Zoom hesitated for a moment before continuing. "She said she wants to buy us a new house, near her place. She said it would be nice if we all lived closer so we could look after one another." For a moment, silence hung between them, broken only by the quiet hum of crickets and the rustling of leaves. Then Toan laughed softly, his eyes filled with warmth. "That sounds exactly like Mom. She's been saying lately that she misses having us around. She worries when we're too far." Zoom nodded, her fingers tracing the rim of her teacup. "I know, but still, I don't want her to feel like she has to do that for us. It's such a big thing. I don't want her to spend so much." Toan reached out, gently taking her hand in his. "Zoom," he said quietly, "Mom isn't doing this out of obligation. She's doing it because she loves us. You've made her so happy. She sees how you take care of me, of our life together. She just wants to make sure we're safe, close, and cared for." Her eyes softened. "You really think so?" He smiled, brushing a loose strand of hair behind her ear. "I know so. You've become like a daughter to her. Ever since you came into my life, she's been at peace. She used to worry I'd be too focused on work, too distant. But now, she sees the way you make this house feel like a home." Zoom leaned into his shoulder, her voice barely audible. "It's strange. I didn't realize how much her call affected me. It wasn't just the offer, it was how sincere she sounded. Like she truly wanted us close, not just for convenience, but for love." Toan nodded. "That's how she is. And honestly, I'd love for us to be nearer to her too. Let's visit in a few days, see the houses she's talking about. We don't have to decide anything now, just take a look." As night deepened, the stars began to appear above them. Zoom rested quietly against Toan's arm, feeling a deep warmth spreading through her heart, a blend of love, gratitude, and quiet anticipation. For the first time in a long while, the future felt not just bright, but beautifully close. A few days later, the morning sun rose over the quiet countryside, bathing everything in a soft, honey-colored light. Diem stood beside Toan as their car pulled up in front of his mother's house. The familiar scent of blooming frangipani filled the air, and in the distance, Mrs. Lon was already waiting at the gate, waving enthusiastically. Her smile, radiant and full of life, was the kind that could instantly melt away every trace of worry. Come in," she said cheerfully as the couple stepped out of the car. "I've made some tea. We'll talk while we drink, and afterward we can go see the places I've found." Her eyes sparkled with the excitement of a new beginning, one that wasn't just about walls or roofs, but about family being together again. Inside the house, warmth seemed to wrap around them like a familiar embrace. Diem poured tea into small porcelain cups, while Mrs. Lon talked animatedly about the neighborhood she had in mind. Peaceful, green, and close enough for her to visit without needing a car. "There's one little house," she said, her voice lowering tenderly, "that has a small garden out front. I thought you'd like that, Diem. Maybe you could plant your roses there." At that, Diem's heart fluttered. The thought of her roses, their delicate petals, the scent that reminded her of every quiet evening she'd spent with Toan, blooming in a new place, near his mother's home, filled her with a strange mix of joy and longing. "You've already thought of everything," Diem said softly. "You're too kind, Mom. We haven't even seen the house yet, and I already feel at home. Mrs. Lawn reached over and gently took her hand. My dear, a home isn't just made of walls and floors. It's built from love, from the sound of laughter in the kitchen, from people who care for one another. I just want that for the two of you. Tuan, sitting beside them, smiled at the sight of the two women he loved most, his mother's nurturing warmth and Diem's gentle grace blending in harmony. We'll go see it together. No rush, but I already know. Anywhere near you, Mom, will feel right. The three of them laughed, and soon after, they stepped outside again. The road ahead shimmered faintly under the noon light, winding between rows of trees heavy with blossoms. Diem walked between Tuan and his mother, feeling their hands brush lightly against hers. As they made their way toward the future that waited, one filled with possibilities, shared mornings, and simple joys, Deem looked up at the clear sky and smiled. She realized that home wasn't a place you found. It was a feeling that found you, in the warmth of love that held you close no matter where you went. And in that moment, surrounded by family and sunlight, she knew their new chapter had already begun.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các khán giả kênh Lý Tu Diem Review. Rất vui vì ngày hôm nay lại được gặp lại các bạn trong tập phim ngày hôm nay. Trong tập phim ngày hôm nay của chúng ta thì câu chuyện đã kể về một tình huống, đó chính là mẹ của CEO Toan đã gọi điện cho Lý Tu Diem và ngỏ ý muốn tặng cô món quà trị giá 1 triệu đô, đó chính là một căn nhà mới mang tên cô. Điều đó khiến cho Diệm cảm thấy rất là bất ngờ, vì mẹ Toàn đã thay đổi hoàn toàn thái độ với cô và đã chấp nhận cô. Mọi tình tiết hấp dẫn còn sẽ được kể ở các câu chuyện tiếp theo. Các bạn hãy bấm vào nút đăng ký kênh để nhận được thông báo mới nhất về các tập phim sẽ được phát sóng hàng ngày trên kênh nha. Và đặc biệt đừng quên hãy bấm vào nút like, nút chia sẻ và để lại ở dưới bình luận ở dưới video để làm tăng tương tác cho video kênh của mình nha. Thank you. Bye bye. See you soon again.